But for today, I am going to be building, drilling, and pinning the Predator sculpt by Narin Studio called Savage Revgun. It's a very elaborate, very dynamic statue. It's a very hard resin. It's a different kind of resin than the previous statue. Not sure if they changed up the material or the resin mix. I don't know. I asked Narin himself about it. He didn't really get the answer that I was looking for, but maybe there's a language barrier. I'm not sure, but it's a very hard resin. So the drilling is going to be challenging again. But yeah, like I've been doing a series on YouTube for everybody who wants to see like segmented pieces of the build. And I've been doing those for all the new pieces that I've been getting in the mail lately. So that's what I'm going to do today. It's a very dynamic piece. It's a very popular piece right now. It's fairly new. You can still buy it from Narin directly from Facebook. But it's a big statue. It's about the same size in scale as the previous one. Let me adjust the camera arm. But it's a more dynamic piece where like the previous piece that we've done, which is Rusex, the Lone Hunter. He had like a very small footprint for his base, and he was standing upright. This guy is like in a full action pose. He's screaming. So he's a little bit more complicated to do. The base is much larger, much larger footprint, but nonetheless, amazing statue. Definitely want to get this guy built, and then somewhere down the line we're gonna start painting. But yeah, this is one that I really wanted to get because the face of the Predator kind of represented or kind of resembles my Bad Blood Studios logo, so it kind of fit. He's very dynamic, very detailed. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to build. Got to be a lot of fun to paint at some point, but he's full of details. His upper body, lower body, and his legs are all separate pieces, so that's gonna be, it's gonna be challenging getting him pinned up and getting him display ready, sort of thing, because there's a lot of weight associated with this piece. It weighs a lot. Most of the Narin pieces you can kind of fiddle around and they will stand on their own without being pinned or magnetized, but this piece really needs to get pinned. I don't think magnets will work on this piece because as you can see, it just wants to fall away from the legs. So pinning is definitely the way to go here. During the painting process, I would say maybe gluing this is not a bad idea at all. Normally you would try and get the upper and the lower body separate during the painting process, but for this, definitely like his lower body and his legs could easily be glued on. Looking at the areas that need paint, you could easily get away with that. So but for now we're just gonna pin him and see how that works out, if the pins are strong enough to hold him up. If not, we're definitely gonna glue them together, but we'll see how that works out. I'm going with the thicker sticks. Still not going metal. Even though I have those, I bought 3 new packs of metal pins. They're real tough, real hard to clip. Even with like a brand new clipper, I still couldn't clip them. So I even need a bigger, stronger clipper for those. So, but for now, just gonna see what the wood is gonna do. If it's gonna hold, if I need two pins, we'll see how that works out. But I'm confident enough that they will hold. They will create a firm grip. So let's start by drilling. I'm gonna drill the legs and the base first. Obviously, it's a very large, very heavy piece. So we'll see if our drills are up to the task. We had so many drilling accidents last project. So for now, we're just gonna take it slow. Actually, the resin on the outside looks a lot harder. It's going in fairly well, so that's good. Luckily, his body is big, so there are large chunks of resin I can drill into, which is good for the length of the pins. That's about, so we can definitely drill into him fairly far. I think this is far enough. That's perfect. Even though that he has a keyhole, that's only just to position him. It will not hold him. It will not create like a strong footprint. You definitely need to pin him to get him to stand solid. So we're gonna use our sticky stuff again. Like, I'm really looking forward to start painting. I know a lot of people have been asking me, hey, when are you gonna finally start painting? And my answer will always be like, I need to get these statues built so I can display them, at least prime them, look at the statue, get inspiration basically. These models have been sitting inside a box for too long. It's time to get them built. But yeah, very soon. Very soon. And I will be starting with the Alien vs Predator statues that I have, also by Narin. They are from the Alien vs Predator movie. Scar, Celtic, and Chopper. I want to get them painted. They're an easier statue to get into. Whoa! The camera went out of focus. But yeah, the painting process is gonna be long videos, a long series of videos, which is good because it'll be entertaining. It'll be cool to see. Hopefully people can learn from that and inspire them to pick up the brush themselves. But I have to take, you know, priming into consideration. That's all, you know, priming a statue is now very interesting content for YouTube or for Twitch. So I'll do that off camera, obviously, because nobody wants to look at me prime a model. Everybody can do it. It's just a plain layer of gray paint. So, you know, that's one step that I'll be skipping when I'm starting the painting process. But at least now you can get a whole series of builds. You can kind of see a review of the parts and how a statue comes together, how much work is being put in before the painting process. A lot of people underestimate kind of the building process. So let that dry for a little bit and continue on with the think in order to match these parts up, I really have to drill this part and then that part, and then find, because of the way that he's built, I'll have to kind of drill this part first, pin this part first, then pin this leg, and then I can attach him, like, or pin him to the base. Because of the way that he's built, I don't want to misalign these parts. So I want to get him perfect. In order to do that, I have to pin the waist first. So that's something you always have to look at before you start a drilling process. I don't want to be drilling this leg and then matching it up down here somewhere, and then these pieces will not match up or line up. So good thing that we paid attention here. Otherwise I'd be drilling this leg already. Now I can easily drill this ahead of time. That's not really an issue. I just can't line him up with the base yet. So drill the hole, and I'm gonna leave that for later. I'm gonna going straight to the waist, and the resin is a little bit smooth, super smooth actually, so the drill wants to walk away from me again. But I think I'm perfectly in the middle, so that's good. I have to pay attention because this resin just seems to be super smooth. I don't understand why some of Narin's pieces are super smooth, then they're kind of grainy, kind of sandy kind of type resin. It's all good, excellent quality, there's no doubt, but there seems to be a little bit of an inconsistency in the mix of resin or the type of resin that they use. I know that Narin sends them to a factory, which is actually kind of amazing because so he sends off like his master master piece. They make a mold of it, then they cast these statues from the mold, and then they send them all back to him, and then he individually signs all of them, the base as well as the art prints. You kind of get an idea of how much time is gonna go into like making sure that all of his pieces are signed. Because really, like the signature is your kind of certificate of authenticity, I would say. It's really kind of the proof that it's really a Narin piece, and that it's not a recast. It's really deep in there, as deep as the drill wanted to go. The deeper you go, the stronger it is. Take that resin residue off. Alright, I can go all the way. Alright, now we got 2 holes. I think I'm gonna drill this. No, I'm not gonna drill that. That's stupid. Drilling dust everywhere. I mean, this piece is so detailed. You look at the details in the skin, it's just, you can really go to town with your painting. And the armor is so diverse. Now, certain pieces, Narin pieces, you can really go a different, different ways of painting armor and stuff like that. Some pieces are better painted in bone, others are better painted in metal, or you could go either way depending on the sculpt. But for this guy, this guy is decked out in really advanced kind of metal armor. So he's top notch. He's like a general or whatever. He's like he's completely decked out in metal and futuristic armor. Now see, this is one thing that I've seen in multiple statues, not just by Narin but other pieces as well, where the key is not hitting the keyhole, or like the bottom of the keyhole. Like for example, it can't get any further, but I'm not getting an imprint. So the key is not hitting the bottom of the keyhole, and you know, this again, that's like one other reason why you really want to pin these models, because a magnet would not be connecting. Just a magnet alone would not be connecting unless you don't drill it in all the way, but you don't want to do that. You want your magnet to be drilled in all the way, and the most effective way even is to put the magnet deeper than the surface of what you're drilling, where you're putting the magnet in, and then put a tiny layer of like epoxy resin or like super glue or something like that, so that's really solid in there, and that the other magnet that would be on this side cannot pull that magnet out. But if these parts are not touching each other, really the only other way to go is to pin them. This is a perfect fit. It's not like I'm not 100% sure that pinning this model will keep him together like that, so I'm afraid that we're gonna have to glue him. The pin is a little bit too long. Yeah, that's better. So I really want to make sure that he's fit 100%. Okay, he is supposed to be like that, and then all right. Well, let's see if we can make it work. I wonder if I should So I'm gonna have pinned the key because I'll be sliding into the legs instead of the other way around. Save this pin because it's the excellent size for the other leg. Take our gummy sticky solution here. Stamp it in. Perfect imprint. Over. Yeah, can go all the way. Ooh, perfect. Take off the excess. So here's the tricky part. Now we need to match up this hole on the base, and it's all dependent on how these two parts or the three parts all fit together. That'll kind of determine where he goes on the base. So we're gonna need a really solid wow, oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow. Now, because this is so smooth, I don't think it's gonna stick very well. We'll see. See, as soon as I put something on it, it lets go. I'm really gonna hopefully stamp it down real well so it sticks. No imprint. And I'm not gonna gamble. We're just gonna try until we get it right. I'll make sure that these pieces are all solid. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Maybe just a bigger piece so I can wrap it around further. That never end. I wonder how other people would have done it if they were just laying down magnets to keep it down, but I just don't really feel comfortable using magnets on such a top heavy piece. It's really heavy on the body, and then the arms, then you have the backpack, then you have the guns and the weapons on it. It all adds to the weight. I just don't feel comfortable with putting magnets alone. Tonight. Okay, let's try again. Make sure that this is lined up. This goes only like really one way. So this is the way he is supposed to go. Get this out of the way. And then come on. Let go. Ooh. Ooh. That's rough. That's rough. Could I drill that? Oh, damn. All right, let's just try. Just using a test piece. If it's in the right place. Okay, the hole is in the right place. That's perfect. All right. No, I won't do. Oh, we're gonna glue the leg. Allow that to dry for a little. We had beautiful. 1 second. Yeah. All right, so get that camera set up right. want to let that dry still. Just trying. I think the stick is, yeah, that's better. Get this. This is way too long. I have to clip that. I think this is still too long, but oh, it's not. Perfect. Oh, we'll have to find a good way to kind of, there we go. That's the way. So, there's no way that they are gonna stand like that with the body on it. That's gonna, yeah, it's way too much weight. The body is leaning forward as well, so it also needs a, he's kind of in an action pose. Like that, so he's standing. He's leaning forward. That weight is all coming onto his, onto this piece. So I feel that this hole has been create a little bit more room. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. It's not the pin. There's just a seam line there. It's just a regular seam line right there. And on this side, it matches almost 100% perfect. Almost. I thought the pin wasn't right, but the pin is perfect. It's just the seam line in the sculpt Okay, nothing to worry about. Okay. So he is standing right like that. There's not a lot of play, which is good. But that body is not gonna be held up by just pins. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on those pins alone. So what I would do, I can always just glue one leg. Just glue these two parts, leave this separate. On the other hand, why would I be gluing one leg and not the other one? It doesn't really make sense. So I guess gluing them like this would be the perfect way to go. Yeah, that'll be the perfect way to go. I think there's no other way around it. Otherwise that upper body is never going to be held up just by the waist alone, because all that pressure is going to come down onto that waist, and it's those pins are not strong enough to hold them like that. Even magnets would not have held him up like this. That waist piece is just floating in the air. So it's just, there's nothing below it. So all that pressure is going to come here, and then the magnets are going to slide. It's going to fall. So I think the only other way is to glue those. Which is a perfect viable option. There's no real issue with that. Just for painting purposes, I would say when I'm gonna paint him. Let's see if I have enough space to get into those. If I would glue him like this, yeah, I've plenty of room to paint the legs, the armor. There's nothing obstructing the painting process, so I think gluing. Alright, that's what we're gonna do. So we are going to see. We're gonna do one leg at a time. I think we're gonna do this leg first. I want lots of glue, not just for the pin, but also for the key and the keyhole, like that. Well, we're gonna let that pin grab onto the glue, which is almost instant because the pin is wood, and the wood just absorbs that super glue like crazy, just like water is being absorbed by wood. That's kind of the idea. So let's see. we can do that the right way. Okay. We're gonna put some glue in there. And then real fast, before it sets, make sure that he is properly standing in the right place. All right. You need to be fast because that wood is really gonna grab onto the glue, or the glue is gonna really grab onto that wood. It's almost like instant. Not always, but most of the time. Especially with like drilling dust still in the holes that we just drilled. If there's like drilling dust there, that will help kind of with the grabbing of the two materials together. It will just solidify real fast when it can grab onto something. And it already set. It's not 100% yet, but we can see some glue in between there, or at least I can see that, which is good. Let that solidify. At least then I know that the pieces are hitting each other. Yeah, there we go. Now the arms are beautiful. Like he's standing like that in like a challenge pose, I would say. It's just a beautiful, beautiful sculpt. Very elaborate, very dynamic action pose. It kind of tells a small story. He's ready to attack. Now with the recent Predator movie, Prey, which came out a couple of days ago, it's not called Predators, it's called Prey. We saw a new Predator design. I wasn't 100% fan of it, but you know, the movie was amazing. The movie was excellent. You know, tons of action, tons of like universe building for the Predator. It's just overall a really, really solid movie. But the Predator design, they kind of changed it. I don't know why they changed it, because the Predator design, you can do so much with it. Just look at Narin's sculpts. You can easily see there you can do so much with the original design. Just keeping it like the original design, but just do small little changes to make it more aggressive, or you know, he's battle damaged or whatever. Like, there was so many things that they could have done with it, but instead they kind of went with a new kind of face design, and I wasn't really like I didn't really understand why they did that. But the movie was really good. Just gonna drill the arm. Alright, I think this is far enough. Like his hand design is amazing. Like super detailed. Again, the armor is amazing. The skin details. Like this guy, man. This guy can sculpt. Alright. We're gonna take our sticky stuff. Our gummy, sticky, gluey, kind of temporary, kind of blue tech kind of thing. I don't have the original packaging, so I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Post-it or something like that. Don't know what it's called in other countries, blue tack or whatever. It's really, really useful stuff. Nah, that's okay. All that dust on my face. Perfect. Glue it. Let that dry. Go to the other arm. Let's see how far I can go. I think I can go all the way. Kind of tricky. That's not in the middle. That's okay. Just need to be careful that I'm not gonna crack that resin. I don't think I will, but I've done it before where I was just way too close to the edge and then I cracked like the top, right? The side a little bit. It's not a huge issue or anything. It's not unfixable, but rather not have that happen. I don't want to end up on, you know, exiting the muscle or anything. So I just want to make sure that, because I can't go all the way because it'll exit. It will exit here, so I just need to be kind of guesstimating. I don't think I should really push it any further because I might just drill right through that muscle right here. So I don't want to push that. That would be bad. Also not unfixable, but I'd rather not try my hand at sculpting an already perfect, like almost perfect like sculpture. So I'd rather not risk that. Yeah, I used a little bit too much. A loose could kill. Come on, focus a little bit. Yeah, there we go. The mandibles are going to be the scary part, because damn, that face sculpt is beautiful, especially with those mandibles attached. Yeah, there's the imprint. Let's see. Yes, I can go all out. Think about there. I think that's a little too long, but yeah, it's a little too long. Now, dance with this pin is a perfect fit, but there is a little bit of a seam line there. It's not really super bad, it's just there. But the pin is perfect. Focus, damn it. Dance with me. You pay hundreds of dollars for these cameras. Get extra lenses for super close-ups. And then they don't autofocus correctly. A little bit too much glue, but I was kind of counting on that. Dance with me. Ooh, shut up and dance with me.